All right, guys, welcome back. On this episode, we're working on the beast again. We was going to wait on the door panels and stuff like that and the carpeting, but he liked all the seats so well, he wanted to go ahead and just get it done now. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a few little upgrades. We're going to put on exhaust system. We're going to do the door panels, the carpet, and front wheel disc brake conversion, and it's got the brake booster and everything with it. Now I'm going to try it, and then the little odds and ends on the motor, like it's got a little miss in it. I think the centrifugal advance weights and arms in the distributor are weak or too. I think they're too stiff because it's not advancing as good as it should. So let's put it that way. But anyways, I'm not going to do like the full thing of everything. What we'll do is I'll just kind of get bits and pieces of what I'm doing and just kind of show you before, after, in between type of thing. Little things that might need to be shown, that kind of just go through it as quick as we can without making a super long video here, because that's kind of a few different large things to be doing, you know, exhaust brakes and the door carpet, door panel, because I got to pull the seats back out and everything, so I ain't going to show you none of that. There's no sense in it. But I'll kind of go through and show you ripping the carpet out, putting a new one down, steaming it in a little bit, because steaming it makes it lay nicer, and so on. So we'll kind of go about it that way, and we'll see how it all turns out. I think it's going to be a pretty nice video. And for some reason, it feels like it's like the brake's getting real hard. So I don't know if the booster's going bad anyways, but when it first got here, I know when I was pulling it off the rack, you could hear something like grabbing, and you had to push harder. So I don't know if the back brakes need something done to them too, maybe just an adjustment, or there might just be dirty inside. I don't know. We'll check them, because obviously we're going to have to re-bleed the system once we change the front to disc brakes. But so we'll just see. We'll play it all by ear, and I'm going to get everything kind of set up. I got the exhaust laid out here. I think I'm going to do that first, the brakes, and then go inside. You know, that way we can work our way up with all the dirty stuff into the clean stuff. So hopefully we can get something knocked out each day here, and maybe a little bit more. It's very hot outside. It's been very muggy and humid, so I'm going to be running some fans and, you know, things of that nature, where the noise is going to be a little bit more than it usually is. So please bear with me. I'm trying to work on the sound stuff too on my videos. I think it's getting a little bit better as far as blocking out some of the you know, background noise. But the compressors, we can probably never do nothing about that. So I try to do what I can with those off on camera, so we don't have to hear that stuff, because I know it's aggravating. It is to me. I don't want to hear it. So all right, I'm going to get things set up with the camera, and I'll show you what I'm doing first. I'm going to cut it all off, and then we'll go from there. So give me a few. I got to get my welder and stuff in here and get all that set up. I'll bring you guys back here shortly. All right, guys. First thing I'm going to do is take you around here and show you. Try to get the best we can here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these off. Hopefully you guys can see. I'm going to cut them pipes off, and that's where I'm going to weld into, because they got something weird going on up here. Right. I'm trying to get you a good shot here. They got it like real booger. I mean, they got it like the gearbox is what wasn't clearing, looks like. But instead of trying to make some kind of a turn down here, they got it right up against it almost. I mean, look at that. I mean, look how close that is right there. I don't know. I'm going to think about it for a minute. I'm going to start cutting stuff off. There's all the new front end parts we put on it. We put the idler on it, inner and outer tie rods, did a alignment, aligned it with string. That thing goes down the road nice and straight. So here's what we got. I'm going to cut all that off and make our own. We got a bunch of, I bought a whole kit. There's our mufflers there. And then here's the rest of it. They give you some, and this is mandrel bent, 4 long pipes. I got them on each side here. And then we got a bunch of this, you know, the mandrels. We got some, I think these are 45s or 30s or something. Or those are 45s and these are 30s. And the other ones are complete. I'm not sure. But anyhow, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start cutting and sawzawing. And then I'll get you guys back under here once I get somewhat situated and cut off, and wherever I'm going to be at from there. So give me a few. All right, guys, let me show you what I've done so far. So we got all the other stuff cut out. I've welded those to those pipes. Got all that welded up. Now I got that piece on the bench over here. I'll show you that, but I just want to show you all this stuff's out. And then I'm going to show you, I don't want to hit nothing here. So the nice thing about having a drive-on lift is the rear end's already sitting where it needs to be at. So when we place this, it's going to be with, you know, there's plenty of room to travel. So let me show you this piece. All right, let me get this gimbal to quit acting weird. Okay, so now I'm going to go around, weld these up. This is where this, I'll show you when I weld this, how it fits up in there. But this actually goes up where the floor goes up. So it's, the muffler's a little hidden. All right, guys, it's the next day. Got kind of wore out yesterday. All the weld burns, burning my head and everything else, falling down on me. So anyways, I'm gonna take you around real quick, show you what I've done. And then I'm gonna show you how I was doing it on a couple pieces here to kind of explain the whole exhaust. Because it's the same all the way around it. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. There's a little hanger we made back here. Just took some little rod and bent it around. I'll show you how I make the next one here in a minute. I just wanted to make it all, and then I left this side unfinished so we can do it together. But so any of these joints and pieces that you see, that goes around the rear end, comes around, welded it there, put a hanger in right there. And we're gonna do the same on that side. That's why I left it all undone. So what I was saying is, these pieces here, like all the tubes that come in a kit, like I said in the beginning of this, this is like a 180 or whatever it is, and then you got a 45, and a couple of these other ones is like 35s. I think this one here that we cut was a 35. So anyhow, on this loop that goes around the rear end, and that goes for any of these. So the only thing I've been doing is cutting them to fit. So what I'll do is I'll grab the other pieces here in a minute, and we'll kind of pre-fit and see where they where it's hard to do this because I ain't got no other hand. But then where the tailpipe piece is going to go, I'll kind of set it up and hold it in place where I want it, and then I'll come back and I'll put me a tack in place on a couple of the pieces. And then once, make sure where I'm setting it at is where I want it, stand back behind the car and make sure it's lined up. So that's about it. That's all I've been doing with this whole exhaust. And just kind of, I wanted to kind of show you guys, how I was doing that, just so since I didn't show any of it on camera, because it took me all day yesterday just to make what you see here. So this side is done. The driver's side's all the way done. And the passenger side is, and it's all nice and straight and tucked and everything. So like I said, it took all day to do what you see here yesterday. And that was from morning until I quit around 5 o'clock. With an hour and a half, I went into town to grab some necessities for the house and lunch. Other than that, I stayed on at work, cutting, grinding, welding, just like I just showed you on that little piece that I had in my hand. Cutting it, fitting it, tacking it, trying it. If it don't work, take the tack off, move it around again, stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and, so I ain't got this tacked yet here because it's part of this whole, the muffler part here and the rear end part. I want to get all that fit first. That's what I was meaning. I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing to get all these pieces right. Because this is hard to do without a bender, an exhaust bender. So this kit is made for that. You ain't got a bender, you take the pieces and you just fit them like I've been doing. Fit them, cut them, tack them, weld them, they make clamp kits. It's down here, over there on that bench. So it comes with a bunch of clamps and a couple hangers, which they sent me the wrong hanger. That's for like, I think 2-inch exhaust. So I had to use one of the clamps. Those are correct. And that's what I did here. I went ahead and took the lower part that comes in the kit. It was wrong. And I took one of the clamp ones, which was correct. And there you go. I just put it with the clamp, tightened it up, and then I welded the lower part to the muffler there. And then we bolted the other piece up to the car up here, that bolt. So, and it's solid and nice and has a little movement in it. And then that back one I just made with the rod, which we'll do. I'll show you how I made that here in a minute on the other side. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pre-fit this one here, and then I'll get it set in place, and then I'll bring you back so you guys can see it. Give me a few. All right, guys, got her finished up. Let's take a look at her here. I'm gonna try to give you as much as I can. Now I'm gonna get some black exhaust high temp paint and paint all this. So Try to get a decent view of this best we can. But yeah, I'm gonna paint it. I ain't even started it yet. I'm getting ready to let it down. We're gonna all hear it. You guys probably can't really hear what I'm gonna hear, but I'm getting ready to start it here in a minute. But it turned out pretty good. Everything fit real nice. I'll put a little description. There's several different kits you can get. Jeg sells them. There's a place called Speedway Motors that sells them. They're just, you know, it's a put together hot rod exhaust kit is what it is. I think it's what it's called. But hopefully you guys got a decent view. Try to get you. Here's try to zoom in a little bit there, but it's all pretty even in the back there. So yeah, I'm gonna give me a few. I'm gonna let it down, and we're gonna see what it sounds like. The brakes came in yesterday, so I'm gonna go ahead and proceed to taking that stuff apart here in a minute. So yeah, let me let it down. We'll start it, and I'll be right back. Thank God. Cut that loud thing off. All right, let's fire this bad boy up. Yeah, let me see what that looks like back here now that it's down. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're nice and even. Both coming out right at the bumper bolt. Yeah, we got them on there nice. All right, let's fire it up. I'm anxious. First time. Well, that sounds pretty good. I like it. Got a more of a deeper tone to it than before. Actually feels like it has a little more power now. That little teeny exhaust that it had on it was probably restricting it. Yeah, that thing sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's got a nice, way nicer sound to it. It's like a deeper tone, you know. Before it was just sound like it was coming out of a little, like a 1-inch pipe, you know, like a more of a, instead of that deeper, you know, nicer sound. Yeah, it's got a good sound. Let's turn that timing a little bit. I hear it like, hang, give me a second. Yeah, I went to go get a wrench. They put a metric bolt in it. I broke it loose a little bit. I'm gonna put a gun on it, but I just want to see what it does here. Yeah, I think the weights are too heavy. Right there sounds pretty decent where it's not, it don't have a miss. It took the miss out of it, right about there. Like I said, I'm going to put a gun on it. Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, before it had like a clatter. Yeah, that's a lot better. Had a clatter in it, and the had a little miss in the exhaust. Yeah, it smoothed it right out. Let me grab a screwdriver. Trying to adjust it a little bit. Just that little couple things there helped it a lot. All right, I'm gonna get the, hang on a second. It sounds meaner. That does. Let's see how it starts back up. Yeah, a lot better. Okay, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna get some of that black exhaust paint, and I want to spray the whole exhaust, because anytime you weld anything around, it breaks that coating off of it, so it'll start to rust. So if we can at least put some kind of a coating on it to help it, you know, last a little bit. So I'm gonna spray all of it, and then for now, we're gonna go ahead and get these wheels off, start taking these brakes apart. I was wondering why that. No, it's still hooked up. I bet this booster's going bad. because it's got like corrosion and stuff all where it goes against it, and it's probably something's going on with it. But like I said, the kit's got a new one in it, so we're going to put all that on it. I'm getting ready to start taking it apart, and I'll bring you guys back here in a little bit. All right, guys, I got the drums all off. That's, I mean, pretty like self-explanatory there. I mean, if you're a mechanic. If not, there's plenty on it. There's nothing to it. There was take off the brake hardware and 2 bolts there and the wheel cylinder. There's the line. Here's the kit. All right, so let's start down here. So we got the brake booster, master cylinder kit. It's all complete. Here's our mounting brackets, brake proportioning valve, all the hardware, the lines, the switch, the wire to switch in, rotors for both sides, calipers loaded calipers, all the bearings, seals. I don't know why they gave me 2 sets, unless I'm seeing something wrong here. But you only have an inner and an outer, or maybe they're 2 different ones. Maybe only one of them fit it. Oh yeah, one's got a smaller hole. Okay, I see. So there's 2 different. Yeah, one's got a smaller hole, smaller dimension. Okay. Dust caps, washers, cotter keys, bolts, hardware. Got our brackets there. Same for the other side. So I'm gonna start putting together this side, and I'll bring you back when I'm somewhat through it. I'm going to show you how I load my bearings. Just certain things I'm going to show you, but basic stuff, you know, we'll see after I mount it, like these brackets and stuff. There's no sense in, you know, putting all of our time in showing you how to bolt a bracket on, you know what I mean? We're going to burn the video up because I'm going to be doing the door panels and the carpet on this yet, and I think we got to make, this thing I think takes off in second, so it's missing some linkage. If you guys are, I think it's a C4. I'm going to do some research on the internet. If you guys are Ford guys and you know about this, please jot it down in the comments to help me out to figure out what I got to, what's missing, what I got to put on there. If you need more pictures, just let me know. I know I'm not giving you much right now, but I'm on the outside of the lift too. But anyways, if you guys are Ford guys and you know about that, please jot it down there and help me out, point me in the right direction, if you would. Okay, let me get, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna bring you guys in at certain times. Definitely when we're probably mounting the portioning valve, the master cylinder, how we're doing with that. I'll show you how I do my my bearings there. So give me a few. I'm gonna get set up, and then I'll bring you back shortly. All right, guys. So I had to set up my my wheel thing here. These brackets need a little bit shaved out on them, and I'll show you when we get it back on the car there. Yeah, I don't know. My a little wheel thing I had back there fell. Scared the crap out of me. All right, let's go back to the car. Okay, so it fits on, one in the back, one in the front, just like that. And looks like, and you got to grind that a little to get that bracket to go down some to clear it. Looks like I got to do a little bit right here too. Right here. And just a touch more right here. All right, I'm gonna go hit that. I just wanted to show you guys over there what I was doing, and I'll bring it back. Okay. All right, perfect. Let's put the bolts through it just to see. I think that one goes through here, and this one's gonna go through there. Yep, we're good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test fit this on the other side and make sure it fits it, and then I'm just gonna lay it on top of here and trace it out and go do the same thing to it. So once I do that, I'll bring it back. Also, I was just thinking about it. I think I'm gonna do a little more in full detail on these brakes on this video, because I'm gonna let the company know that I did it. That way, if they wanna link any of their stuff that they sell and just, you know, in their description, or tell them to go to this site to see how to install these things, it may be helpful to them. So so yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit more involved in it. But so that's what I'm gonna do. Trace this out and see if both sides fit, grind it, be back shortly. Okay guys, let me just show you. I got both sides done. So the initial grinding was just in here, right here, and in here. I also had to bevel this back side on both sides. Not down here, just up here. It was rubbing a little bit against the spindle. So now they fit really good. just wanted to point that out in case you have to do it if you guys get one of these kits. And the thing is, you have to, this bracket must fit flush against the top and against the back of this, flush. So if it's binding anywhere on, you got to look at it, like look through there, look around it, and make sure nothing's holding it from mounting, you know, flat up here and behind there in the back. That's how it has to be. So, all right, I'm gonna bolt this up. I'm gonna get my grease packing machine out, and you could do them by hand. You don't need one of those, you know. But I got a little thing, you put them in, you just push it down, and it makes, you know, greases them nice. I'm gonna go fill that thing up, come back, we'll grease pack them, we'll put our seals on, we'll pre-fit the bearings, make sure which ones we need, and then we'll mount that, and then we'll proceed to mounting the caliper, and so on. So give me a few. Okay guys, the top bolt, I'm going to show you this on one side, and you'll repeat the same thing for the other side. So the top bolt is a 7/8, front and back. Put your lock nut towards the back. You don't want that towards the rotor. I couldn't find my 7/8 3H drive, so I had to put a adapter on that one. And those are lock nuts, if I didn't say it. Get on there. Okay, now, before you go any further, it's like that song, who sings it? Houdini, Friends. Before we go any further. All right, make sure all your debris are cleaned off of your spindle, and make sure there's no nicks or nothing, because your seal will mess up. So this one had a little one here. So I'm just taking a fine file and making sure that there's, you know, no burrs or nothing. You don't want to go taking off a ton of material here, because your seal's got a seal, just so it doesn't rip it, especially when we're putting it on. That thing catches something. Okay, perfect. If this is all like cruddy and dirty on your guys's, get you some emery cloth and a little bit of brake clean and just clean it up good. Okay, let's go over to the bearings here. Okay, there's, like I said before, let me show you on this. There's 2 sets of bearings in the kit. Make sure the rotor does have races in it. Make sure they fit it. If not, knock those out and put the ones that came with the bearing. You can do that if you want, but these are all going to work just fine here. So just double check. And then if you don't have one of these, then just take you some grease, put it right on your palm there, and then just start packing it in until it starts coming out of all your areas. Just keep packing it, keep packing it. But I got this, so I'm going to use this. Just like that belt grinder that I just did the brackets with. If you ain't got a belt grinder, just use a hand grinder, whatever you want. And this is, but I'll put it in the description in the video, or I'll just put a little thing in it. But this is a Lyle. I'll give you the part number of it. But you see how nice it packs it? Makes it real nice. And then before I put that in there, I'll take a little bit. I should have prepared this a little better. I'll take a little bit out of the grease bucket, and I'll put some in the rotor here, just so we got adequate grease in here. You don't need to like overdo it, but just make sure there's enough in it. Set your bearing in there. Let me grab my rag and my seal. I hope that's in camera. Okay. I got a kit to put these seals in, but I'm doing this because if you guys don't have one, there's no point in me trying to do mine like that right now, because just start it at a corner and make sure you don't go too much in one area before you start, you know, go around. It sounds like I'm hitting it hard, but I'm not. I'm just tapping it around. And I'm hitting it right on this edge right here. Not flat, but kind of like on that little edge. Just to make sure it's sealed in there. And that's it for that one. You set that over there. We'll get our small one ready. Okay, now hang on a second. Okay, we're going to do the same with this front. We're going to put just a little bit in here, because remember, we still got some in there from the back side. You don't need a ton, because that's going to push that through there. Just coat your races, because we got plenty in there from the back one. Actually, I don't need to put that in there yet. Let me slide this on here. I'll just leave it on there. Just like that. So far, I'll tell you what, this is a pretty nice kit. And they make them for a whole bunch of stuff, and it's pretty simple on their website. You just go and put in the vehicle, you know, the make, model of the vehicle, and so once again they give you 2 of them, which is nice, man. That's a heck of a kit to give you all, you know, because they're thinking ahead. Maybe they got the spindle with the smaller, you know, spindle part there. So that's really good of them. Okay, now we'll put our, see, there's the bigger one of that. Okay guys, I'm not sure if they forgot it or if it doesn't come with it, but I think they probably just forgot it because everything else is doubled up in here for 2 different sizes of a spindle. They only had the bigger nut in the kit. So get your old one from your drums, and it may even say that in directions. I'm not even reading it, but I bet you they just forgot to put it in here because this kit is pretty full of everything you need. I don't see why they would, you know, not do that. I'm betting they just forgot these 2 nuts. Let me grab my crescent. Yeah, and like I said, if not, it's no big deal. It ain't the end of the world. You got your old nut. Just put it on there. And this here, the way I'm getting ready to do this, I'm sure there's a million different ways, but I'll spin that a little and tighten it some more. Spin it a little, tighten it some more, and I just tighten it until it stops. I'm not going to overdo it, you know what I mean? And it's not sloppy or nothing, and it's perfect. When I was doing that, you can feel the bearings seating real good. So, okay, now, yeah, see, they even give both of these sizes. There's that one, here's the bigger one, or the other one. You know what I mean? So, I just think they forgot the nuts. Yeah, I bet you anything, they just forgot the nuts. Now, this is the one I'd say, but because it's a little tight, yeah. I'm gonna tap it on here so it spreads it out nice. Actually, it's fitting the nut really good. Okay, let me grab I gotta go just a touch more on tightening. Well, like I said, I wanted to tighten it on there to get it to you know, form to the bolt, to the nut, I'm sorry. So I gotta go just a touch more. I think that'll get it. Where was I at here? Right there. You could probably get a socket and put it over there and do that a little bit better, but I'm just trying to not rush, but I'm trying to show you guys everything that there is here. All right, same with these. I'll take mine and spin it around like that, like that. And normally, if I have a good set of cutters, for some reason I can't find my good ones, I'll trim this a little. Let's see if these will do it. Yep. Okay, in our dust cup, I'm gonna let me grab a something to do this with here. It seems pretty strong. I don't want to, that might have done it. I don't want to, I hate when they're flattened out. Man, I might have to go find me a, yeah, let me go find something, a nice socket to fit around that, because I don't want to flatten that out. I already put a little dent in it. Give me a few. Just make sure it's on real good. That socket done the trick. I'm trying to think what you would use. I'm sure everybody's not going to have an 1 13/16 socket laying around. Just keep trying to work it with the center punch. I just don't like them stupid dings I just put in it, but there's a couple in there. I guess I'm going to have to live with it. That thing's on there nice. Bracket's on there nice. All right, let me get set up here. We'll mount the caliber. Be right back. Okay, these are 3/8 hex, just so you know. What we'll do, okay, let's go ahead, put our pads in it. And the box that you get with these, it's marked right and left, so you'll know which one goes where. Let me try to get that in there good. These are actually pretty nice brackets and everything. I mean, they are slotted good. They fit these rotors good. So far, I like this kit. I'll definitely use it again. That goes right in. No binds. I should have got my battery powered ratchet, but once again, not everybody has that, so we'll manually do them here. Okay. All right, now look at that. That's a nice deal. I mean, that's a really nice deal. Okay, we got our brake lines, and let's go ahead. So you got 2 banjo nuts here. One that came in the caliber and one that came with the line. I think we'll use the one Let's see here if it fits this. Yeah, let's use the one that came in the caliper. You know what? Let's use the one that came in the line. If that don't work, now you got a notch here, and then it's completely flat in the back. So it's obviously going to go on and seat one way and one way it ain't. Let me see how that is here. Okay, so your notch part goes towards the engine. This goes towards the caliper, the completely flat side. I'm just going to hand start, or finger start this and snug it up. That way I'm going to have to soak this, the factory line here, and get it out of the way and work on getting that loose. Once I get that loose, I'll bring you guys back. Give me a few. Doesn't look too bad because these lines, I'd say, I mean, they come right out of the wheel cylinder. So I'd say someone put them on not very, very long ago. So once I spray this with some PB Blaster there, I think it'll come. So let me get them broke loose, and I'll bring you back in a few. All right, I don't know how we're going to do this. There's really nowhere to. Let's see here. We can keep that light up. Let's try it. I don't know. I can't see if it's in the camera or not. All right, let me try to hold this and do it. Okay, so like I said, the orientation of this went down. So this part's going to go through the firewall right there. Oh, there it goes. Let me put it on and I'll bring you back. All right, guys, here it is. Here's how you got to do it. If you look at that switch, it goes over. Let me point with the screwdriver. It slides over that bracket, and then you push the whole thing over that pin. So in other words, this don't go on after, it goes on with the bracket, and then you slide it over that pin, put your cotter key back in right there, and that's it for in here. Now we'll go outside and check all that out. All right, guys, I'm gonna try to show you this. Okay, here's our bracket. You put your sleeve on it. Sleeve goes towards the inside. Just feed it on there. That's your dust boot. Hold out on the bar and then try to push in a little bit. Okay, now here's our bracketry. We have to put our pin in there. I can't remember if that went in that bottom one. We're about to find out. Hang on a second. Oh yeah, because the top one is the for our booster. Okay, or for our master cylinder. I'm sorry. Put your washer on. Put your cotter key in. Ouch. I should be doing that with some. It's hard to be in here like this. Okay, now I bet you all my nuts are down there except for one. Let me try to start it real quick. Alright, so basically after you do this, tighten your nuts, obviously, and then we'll proceed with the booster. I just wanted to get this far for you so you guys knew, because there's not very much info on that, especially those brackets. You know, using the right one, not putting the wrong one in, and having to pull it all the way back apart. So I figured I better share that with you guys before I did it. Come on, start. Oh, what's wrong with that one? Oh, there it goes. Okay, I'm gonna tighten these up, and then I'll bring you back when we're putting the booster in. Okay, before you put your dust boot on, we gotta adjust this first. So I just put it all the way in, bring it out towards, until I can, well, where'd my thing go? Oh, I hit my pin. Hang on. Okay, what we're gonna wanna do now, put our vacuum towards the engine. Well, man, I'm gonna have to push that to where that slot is. Oh boy, I don't know if we can get, yeah, maybe. You got a slot over here in the side. You wanna push that through. Okay, just for test purposes, we're gonna fit it on here just for a second, just to see if we're sitting right. I can't see with my, well, we're adjusted all the way, and we're still not able to. Let me see how to adjust this master cylinder bolt real quick. Like I said, there's not much on it, so I gotta try to do it myself real quick. Let me check that. I'll be back. All right, guys, that was on me. I didn't look further into the kit. So you see these little spacers right here in the back? I was like, something's not right, because I put the right bracket on. So anyways, you're gonna have spacers in that kit. And then, you know, you put them on first, then you slide it on, put your bolts in. So now I'm gonna take all that back off. Now that I know it's where it needs to be at, I'm gonna put my dust boot on, my washer and cotter key on that pin that goes through it, and we'll bolt this bad boy up. And then I'll bring you back when we're putting the master cylinder on. And actually we got to put the valve on too. It goes on the bottom 2 bolts underneath there. So I'll put all that on there and I'll show you guys how I did it after I put it on. But I just wanted you guys to know about them little spacers real quick. All right, guys, we got all the stuff in there done. We got the boot on it. We got our spacers in right here. We got it all tight. We put all the portioning valve in on the bracket. Now there's a little rod that goes inside this thing before you slide it back that the plunger goes against. So don't forget to put that in. And it's got a beveled side and a flat side. The flat side goes in. The beveled goes towards the master cylinder. Okay, so we're all set. I haven't bled it yet. I'm just going to bleed it in the car. But I'm going to go ahead and make these lines now. So I'm going to start making a couple. I'll show you guys a little bit, and then I'll show you when it's all done. I'm not going to record the whole thing, but I'll show you how I make them in case you want to try to make some if you haven't made them before. And if you don't have a flaring tool, Harbor Freight carries, they're pretty inexpensive. They're like, I don't know, 20 bucks or less, you know, so they're not that much, and they're nice to have because you can do other things, you know, flare other things with them. So this gimbal has got, I think it needs updated. It's got like a little glitch in it. Okay, let me get set up here, and I'll bring you guys back here in a few. All right, I got my first line cut. This is going to be the one coming out of the back of the proportioning valve, and it's going to go down and hook into the back brake line because the back of the proportion valve is the back brakes. Anyways, here's the kit. This one's from Blue Point, but I got a cheaper one in there too. They're the same thing though. They come with all the little dies in it and the thing. So what I do is, if you've got a 90 right here already, make sure you put your thing on before you put your you know, your flare in it, because you ain't gonna get it on after that. But being that this is straight, we don't need to do that yet. So what I do is I'll take that line and I'll set it right there. If I can hold on to this stuff. Okay, let's try it again. So I'll bring that down about the lip of this bottom lip of that die, which is about right there. And then I'll lock it in. And there may be other ways to do this. I don't know, guys. This is just the way I've done it for many, many years. So if somebody gets on there and says, yeah, you did it wrong or whatever, just put down how you do it. That's all. We're not here to judge. We're here to learn. Tighten it up good. Put your die in that way. I should have got this thing opened up. Get this thing on here. Yeah, now I got to open it the whole way. There we go. Alright, just so that's sitting like that. Once you get it up to it, you'll make your first flare, which is just about as soon as it gets a little bit tight and stops, like. Because if you go too much, you'll flatten it out, and then you won't have your little, it's got like a little bubble in it. So then bring this down, after you pull your die out of it, bring this down now, make that point go inside that line, and then take it down. See, that's why I stopped, because this thing's going to take it down too a little bit. I don't know if that messed it up or not. No, I think we're good. Let me give it a little bit more. This is going to be the part it seals against. I'll show you here in a second. They make a nice, like a hydraulic hand one. I've never bought one before. Imagine that. I'm usually I got to have it tool guru guy.
I have to have it! No!
I'll have one of these days, hopefully. Anyways, there's our first flare. Now, this one is going to be, let's just test this out. I'm going to put this on here. I got a coupling that we're going to put the couple lines together. But anyways, that'll go in, tighten up and snug up, and that'll be our first thing there. And inside there, you got your inverted part, and it fits down in that, you know. What you don't want to do is tighten these things and do it too much to where it puts a split in it. If you see a split in it, cut it off, start over, because it ain't going to seal. You'll be like, damn, I've been trying to tighten that thing for hours and it ain't sealed. Then you just over smash it and it's no good. That's why I said don't smash them too much each time, and your line won't be broke. So, and that's that. So now what I'm going to do is slide this one on the other way, because that's going to be my other end of that line. and put it back in the die, or the holder thingy. Pull it down just a little bit. So I'm going to do that to this one, and then I'm going to put some bends in it. I'll show you my little bender afterwards, and a couple little zigzags in it, just so we have some movement. You don't want it going straight from the thing right down to the thing, because you won't have no movement when your chassis and stuff flexes. That's why they put coils in them, but I'm not going to coil it. I'm just going to put like a little zigzag or something in it, and that'll be okay. Because the ones that came off of it, they didn't even have barely that much on it. Here I am talking again, and I'm going to do the whole thing for us again. That's all right. At least you've seen it twice. But these are all going to get the same thing. That's it. And they make another one too that's not hydraulic. It's like a little vise mount. A vise, you mount it in a vise, and it's real slick. Easton has it. Eastwood, I mean, not Easton. Easton. So there's that one. There's that one. Now I can put my little bends in here, and this will be the back line. So let me get some of these made and bent around, and I'll show you how I'm doing them with the bender and stuff, and I'll bring you back. Guys, real quick, I want to show you so this one here, I think it's from Harbor Freight. That's just, you put it in there and you tighten it up, and it puts you a little bend in it. And here's another one that kind of opens up and, you know, does it's got a little degree thing on the side of it. This one's pretty cool too, but all you do, like, let me show you real quick. Let's do, I haven't used this one that much, but all right, so we do know that this side needs, I'm going to put it in this way, that way, and I'm going to keep it kind of tight there, because I don't want to lose too much of it. But you just bring it around easy peasy lemon squeezy. There's like pretty much of a 90, I guess, and there's our first little bend. Voila. But you can get these things pretty cheap. I think under 10 bucks at Harbor Freight, and it's the same way. You just put it in there, and it says on here 5/16, 3/8, and you from 5/16 to 3/8. So that one doesn't have a this one's got different slots in it, so I kind of like that one better. But this will work. You know, you just put it in there, make sure your other end is where you want it before you go bending it, and then you just bend it, squeeze it, and kind of help it a little, and that's it. Same thing. But I just wanted to show you them real quick before I get going on it. All right, be back. All right, guys, let me give you an update here. So I got everything together. Let me try to get this. There's no place to hook this light. Hopefully you guys can see that. So this line right here, it's a factory line that goes to the back, and it's sleeved. I've never seen nothing like that. Well, maybe I have, but it was on a different type of I think it was like on a fuel line or something. But anyways, there's a sleeve around the 3/16 line that's inside of it. And when I tried to flare it and do it, I didn't realize what was going on there, and I ended up getting it flared. But if you look here, you see I had to grind it a little bit to get my thing to slide up, and that's when I realized what's going on with this. But anyways, the flare looked decent, and I tightened it up and everything seemed okay. Let me let the car down real quick and I'll show you up there. Hang on a second. All right, sorry about the hissing noise. Up here I got a little leaky line. I gotta fix it. But anyways, so back to this. All right, all the lines are done, they're made, it fits good, they work good, everything was going well. I was getting ready to start bleeding it. I gravity bled it for a second. These are all good, they hooked in, no leaks on the calipers. I gravity fed it, I pumped it up a while, everything was okay for a minute. The pedal was getting tight, so I was just getting ready to you know, I got this bleeder right here. I got a couple different ones, but I was just going to use this one and try it. You just hook an air line to it, put this hose on the back of the bleeder, and you squeeze the trigger, and it creates a vacuum, and it pulls it all from the front to the back. The problem I found with that thing is, I don't know if it's sucking too hard, and it's creating air past the liquid, and so you don't really get it really super good, but it puts you in the right, you know, it gets you probably about 85%, and then I can crack them loose and let it gravity feed some more, and it's done. If I'm doing it by myself, or I got this other one. It's a pump one. You put the thing over the master cylinder, and it continuously feeds pressure and brake fluid. So all you gotta do is go around and crack the brake lines. I may end up doing that, but I got it. It's just more setup time. You got to put a big plate over the master cylinder, and if somebody's not here later to help me bleed them, that's what we'll do. Anyways, I got to put a whole new brake line on it from the front to the rear, and it kind of sucks, man. Yeah, like I said, I was getting a nice pedal and I was getting ready to start bleeding, and I looked underneath the car and I seen it wet, and I was trying to find it. I couldn't see it, and I was like, it's got to be that line. So I went over there, and it still looked dry, but on the back side of it, it was leaking. So I'm going to replace that line real quick. I'll get it back to where I was, and then if nobody's here and I do use that power bleeder, I'm going to bring you guys back so you guys can watch how that thing works. It's pretty cool. But I mean, bleeding brakes is just, you know, it's the same. If you look up how to bleed brakes, you know, it's all the same. But I'll try to get you some footage on it. Like I said, we still have carpet, door panels, and all that to make on this video, so I don't want to fill it up with this stuff. But we're about there. These are about done. And it was, like I said, the pedal was feeling great. Everything was working good. So, but let me get that brake line ran, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, we got the line on. Let me show you this bleeder real quick. So it's just like a bug sprayer type thing. You got different adapters. It continuously puts fluid in it, and you don't want to go like over 10 psi, 15 at the most. But that's a plate with dual holes in the bottom of it. I'll show you when I'm done. I want to hurry up and do this before this compressor kicks on again. So right now I got it low with pressure. I already done the back brakes, and let me just show you what it does here. So if you watch, hopefully you can see that line. Hopefully you can see the fluid coming through it. So I'm gonna, oh, let me get my air hose. Hope that compressor don't kick on. It's so loud and I don't have my external mic on. It probably will. If it does, just bear with me. All right, so I'm gonna crack this loose, the bleeder. Now I'm gonna pull on this. It's already coming through. Yeah, there's no air. So essentially you wanna, there's fluid running through there right now. You wanna, if there's any bubbles in that, you wanna do it till they quit. And that's it. Once they quit, you don't even need this thing down here. All you need is a rag and crack that, and it'll start coming out of the top. I just do it so it doesn't make a mess with this that little air thing I showed you guys, this one, the suction one. So that's why I use them both. You don't need it. Like I said, the other one, you can, you know, just keep the pressure in it. I'm gonna go ahead and pump it a little bit. There goes the compressor. See, if you take that off, look at it coming out of there. I just wanted to show you guys. Now I made a big mess, just for you guys. Alright, so this side is definitely done. No air at all. I'm going to go ahead and check the other one on the driver's side, and we're all bled out. So give me a few, and then I'm going to show you that new line I ran. Alright guys, now I'm going to show you why I hate that machine. Right when I cut the camera off and told you guys I'll be right back or whatever I said, I was trying to shut the bleeder. I noticed the pressure wasn't coming out as much. I was like, what's wrong? Look at that hose. It frickin' split. It's, you know, just dry rot from sitting around. The one that's on top of that, that goes into the canister, split. It sprayed everything. I mean, my toolbox, the wall, the tools, everything you could think of. My lift, it's starting to eat the paint. I mean, I wiped it off fast. It's still all over stuff. I didn't even, here's more stuff all over this light. One thing it didn't do was get on the car. Thank you God, because that would have probably tore that thing up. But it was all spraying this way, like that, and then kind of leafing off left and right, because it got my lift a little bit too right there. There's little splats on it, and I mean, it eats in it quick. Look at this magnet. It started eating into that so fast. Everything, my sockets, all. I've been sitting here wiping and throwing away rags for the past 20 minutes. I still got to get a little bit more off his tire down there. Yeah, it's all over my oil drain. I just now seen that. I got to wipe all that stuff down. It's sprayed everywhere. I mean, look at that wall back there. Clear back onto the insulation. Just everywhere. It was spraying, just pumping out. And like I said, there's only all this stuff all up and down that wall. Look at the bottom of that clock. It got inside of it. Tore up my BASF clock. Yeah, just that quick. 10 psi, and it was all over my camera, all over the gimbal. I hope everything's okay with it. I tried to dry it off first because I didn't want to ruin a, you know, $600 setup, whatever this is, $500. So anyways, this stuff's in. The leaks are done. The brakes feel great. Thank God we're done with this. That's why I hate doing brakes. Just the brake fluid's so messy. And I did use that thing just so to be cleaner and work by myself. And that's just happened that quick. That quick. I mean, all that was a catastrophe real quick. So anyways, it's not that they're piece of junks or crap. It's just if you forget about that thing sitting around for too long, because I haven't used it probably in, I don't know, a good year or two. So the hoses, they get hot and cold out here from winter and summer, and it gets, you know, crack. It starts to crack and stuff. So you forget all about that stuff. And that's it. That quick. Boom. I mean, you know, one minute you slip of the mind and it could have ruined his paint job. So anyhow, the brakes are finished. We're going to probably go take a cruise in it and see how they feel. and then we're going to jump on the door panels and the carpet. So I'll bring you back whenever I'm doing the next thing. I just wanted to fill you guys in on that, the craziness. So, all right, everybody. So we got the brakes finished up, exhaust finished up. I got the front seat out and the bottom of the back seat out. I'm getting ready to take the armrest, all the window cranks, and everything off of all the panels, and the steel plates, and the seat belts. And then I'll lift out the rest of that back seat there and put it over there with the other seats so we can get this carpet out and these panels. So let me show you inside here. All right, we're going to use this camera inside here. Okay, so I got this one out. Obviously, it's just some bolts, you know, that are with a socket. I think it's a 13/16. Yeah, 13/16. And then a lot of these have that hex, you know, the Allen key. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna get all this stuff off, the steel plates and everything. We'll get our the back seat bolts out as we did before, the ones down there, and then I'll bring you guys back here shortly. Oh, I forgot, I gotta take these out too. So let me get that far, and I'll bring you guys back here shortly. It's pretty basic stuff, like I said, Phillips screws, some bolts in the belts, nothing real, you know, that needs like special attention to it or anything. So let me get all that figured out, and I'll get back to you guys here shortly. Okay, here's where we're at. Got all the panels off, got the carpet out. I put a little bit of tape down here on the speaker wire just to hold it down so it doesn't come into where you screw down your steel plates on both sides there. So, but everything's out of the car, the rear panels. Now let me show you what I've done here, and the front kick panels. We got everything off. Let me show you here in the back. Okay, so when you're taking this stuff off, I tape the screws underneath it, and then I put driver's front, driver's rear, passenger front, you know, whatever we got there. Same with the steel plates and the bottom chromes for the door panels. Do the same with them. And you do that when you're going to go put it back together. Everything's there. You're not going to be fighting it. You know what I mean? So, other than that, and the seat belts, of course, we got all that. So other than that, I'm getting ready to unwrap these bad boys, figure out what kind of patterns we're going to be making for them, and then I'm going to start sewing and making and get these things done. So I want to get this car done. He's well overdue to get it. He's wanting to drive this thing so bad. So, and I've had it here for a couple weeks now. We keep on adding stuff, but it's for the better. You know what I mean? That thing, I'll tell you what, it stops so nice and it runs so much better with that exhaust. And they had one of the vacuum lines from the carburetor running to the distributor, all-time vacuum, so it was staying fully advanced. So I fixed all that. Kind of, I still got to put the timing gun on it, but I did, you know, kind of set it by ear just real quick, and it's even better. Just I did that a little bit and adjusted on a carb some. But yeah, it's like, man, what a difference with with all of it, you know, with the brakes. Yeah, I took it out Sunday and drove it a little bit, and that thing, man, it just stops so nice. We had a little problem on the right front. The banjo nut kept leaking. I mean, no matter how much you tightened it. So I took it back off. I filed it a little bit flat, the caliber. I don't know if there was a burr there or what. And then I put two new brass, here's the old. And to look at it, nothing seems out of the ordinary. But anyways, they gave me, the ones came with the lines and the ones came with the calibers. So this one came with the line. I just took it off and put the caliber one in it, and it's been good so far. Yeah, and ever since I had that big explosion happen with the bleeder, boy, that was something. Yeah, that thing was crazy. I mean, I'm going to get some new hose for that. You know, just sitting around hot, cold, and it gets, you know, starts to crack. So, you know, you can't really, what are you going to do with that unless you keep it climatically controlled? And even then, you're probably going to have issues. So anyways, I'm going to get the carpet out and set it in the car, see what it looks like, see if we got to do anything to it, what we have to do to it. And I'll bring you guys back here when I get that out. All right, you guys, I got that carpet laying in there. Let me show you what it looks like. That's a nice fitting carpet. I'll put a little description in there where I got it from. And look at that. And that's just, I just put it down in there. I'm gonna steam it and, you know, have it fit nicer, but that really looks good. And it's a nice dark brown that's going to match that, the welting and the piping on the, as you can see, they use the dark brown on the edging here too. So, but anyways, I just kind of went around up there and just kind of cut around. That's kind of dark in there, but I just kind of cut around with the scissors a little bit just to help it lay. Same with over there around that stuff. And all you do is just bend it up to it and cut a straight line first and start cutting around it. Just a little at a time. You don't want to cut too much, you know, from the get-go. Keep going. You're better off cutting not enough at first than too much. So just start small and go up to where it starts fitting good. Nothing to it. But like I said, I'm going to let this sit for a while. Kind of, you know, learn its pattern. It's been bunched up in a box for God knows how long. But it's amazing how they have pre-fit carpet molds for a ton of cars, you know. It's almost like what computer base or who set up that computer base, the data, you know, to have all these, the floor punch outs to make this stuff fit like this. I mean, look at that. It's sitting in there in every pocket. You know what I mean? It's pretty wild how that is. I always get fascinated by that, but pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna let that sit a while, then we're gonna break out the steamer and start steaming and get it to fit a little bit nicer. And then I'll probably glue a few areas down. Nothing heavy, nothing real big. Definitely back here, we'll glue across that, probably them back walls on both sides and up inside these corners down here. Maybe along this back side here. And that's about it. We'll get our holes preset where the seats go down again, so we ain't trying to find those. But yeah, looking good, man, looking really good. All right, guys, I got all those done, but I wanted to show you real quick what I done. So this part and this part here on all the panels had some little staples in them. So obviously I popped them out with these, you know, peeled the rest of the way with the little side cuts. Now, up here, underneath this door panel, there's some little staples in here. I know you can't see them, but there's staples in here and they're folded over. A lot of people would try to pry them and get them out and stuff. Don't even fool with that. I'm telling you right now, you'll thank me for this later. Just get you a little cutoff wheel, get right behind it, and just... And I ain't even got my glasses on again. Anyways, you just hit them flush, and then when you get ready to pop it off, you just take your little pick or something, just get right behind there and just easy. Don't bend your thing, because if you reuse them, you don't want them all warpy. That one's already popped. So, and then we'll pop that off after I do the rest of them, peel these off and rip that cover off, and then we'll have essentially, they'll all look like that, ready for to make a cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish popping that off right there. I'll bring you guys back here in a minute and I'll clean this up. We'll get our materials out. We'll figure out what patterns, what we're doing, and start making some covers for these door panels. Give me a few. Okie dokie. So we're going to do the dark brown at the bottom, kind of follow in with the dark carpet, our stripe that's in our seats, the mocha, whatever you want to call it. Then the lighter color is going to have pleats in it. I don't know if I'm going to just do like a section in the middle or all the way down. I'm thinking about it. Wish you guys could talk. Wish you guys could put it in the comments. Still do it. Tell me which way you like it or which way you'd like to see it, even though I'm going to do it whatever way it's going to be by the time I edit this video and do it. But that way, for in the future, when we're doing them, if there's a lot more people that like them, you know, less, then you kind of know how to make stuff. You know what I mean? I know you're not going to please everybody, but at least you got some input on the stuff. So I am only going to go with 1/4 inch soap foam versus half, because you don't want your door panels like you know what I mean? So, and I ain't decided yet. The rest of it's probably not going to have any padding. Normally you don't. Normally you just put your padding up to the top there, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these cut to size. They're cut, you know, this way, but I got to cut them all 48 now this way. And then I'll get these glued to the foam. By then, hopefully I got a decision how I'm going to do those. Maybe I'll draw it out and see how it looks, but I'll bring you back here in a little bit. Okay, so on the back ones, I came off of a center line, went 3 on each side. On the front ones, off the center line, we did 2, 4, 6. That gives us pleats in the middle, you know, flatness on the side of it, and it ends up looking pretty good. So I think, I mean, all the way across would make it look too older, like 50s, you know, that era. But this is more like today, you know, like 60s, 70s, like Chevelles, stuff like that. So I think that'll look cool once we get all everything sewed on it and the pleats done. That'll look pretty cool. So I got them all ready. I'm gonna get my thread back in, because I had to sew some black stuff last week. So I need to put that mocha-ish looking color back in the top, and then we'll get these sewed in. I'm not gonna, like, once again, we've seen it 1,000 times. I'll just sew those in real quick, and I'll probably go ahead and sew the panels together. I may bring you in when I'm finishing up on the last one. That way you've seen some of that, you know what I mean? But there's, like I said, I got plenty of videos that show how I do all that. We don't need to waste it on this one. The main thing is getting this done, how we're gonna do it, how we're gonna wrap them up and finish this thing up for them. So yeah, I'll get that done and I'll bring you guys back. All right, guys, we're got all the pleats sewed in. I got the other ones done. I want to show you how I did it real quick. So I got this little notcher, just notches out. So I'll just take it and I'll put it where I want it, and I'll go through both of them, and it puts a little notch in both panels. So then when we sew it, all we got to do, and I got it there, there, and there. Now I got one in the middle on this one, so when we put our next panel down, we'll set it to the center, or we'll find the center of that one. We'll line them two up, and I'll put a couple more in after we line them up. I'll show you here in a minute. All right, so I'll line the first one up. I'm going to sew in about, I don't know, like we always say, 3/8 to a half. Oh, I got to cut my machine on, right? I can't wait. I want to buy another setup like that with the needle positioner for the other machine. I love it. Yeah, so now I just push it to where the needle is going to land down every time as I'm sewing this part, and I'll show you what I do at the end. It makes it pretty nice. See, it drops it right down in there. I love that thing. Keeps us locked into position. Those line up there. And then what I'll do is when I get down here, I'll put it back up to the up position, and I'll show you why. See how it just went up? I don't have to mess with this wheel to pull my thread out. It's already up, so it makes it nice. I bought these scissors. They was sharp and good for a couple of cuts. I don't know why I can't find a good pair, or maybe I'm using them wrong. I don't know. These are Singers. I have no idea. All right, now we're going to go ahead and top stitch this one first. I'll put that to where the needle lands on the down position again. Now you don't have to do that every single time. I mean, I'm probably just using it because it's an exciting new thing. Not new, but you know what I mean. Now this, I'm just keeping this line in the middle of my leg, just so I can try to keep a straight line there. As I said before, just try to pick whatever you can, you know, to watch your line, and just keep watching that spot. Don't look at 7 other places, because before you know it, you're going to be all over the place. So just watch that part there, and that's it. Now they're cutting all right because I got you guys on here. Yeah, I don't know. All right, now on this brown one, give me a second. Okay, the brown one has nothing in it so far. So what we'll do is, I like to fold it over inside the smooth part so it's not gripping on the back part of it. Then I'll just fold it. And this don't have to be super perfect unless you have lines like pleats you're trying to line up. Then you would do it like lay it on there and match them up, then make your thing. And then I put a little crease in it. I'll just take these, line it up right in the middle of that crease. Boom, there's our notch. Now, we already put one in this one, so I'll just lay that over that one, line those up, and they line up nice everywhere. Then I'll just grab them both together, put some down there, put some down there. Okay, same thing. We'll top sew first. I like to close my thread up a little bit. It was on 10, I bring it down to about 8 or 9, just so it's a little stronger. And then I'll open it back up for the top stitch, so it looks a little nicer. All right. They all line up nice. As long as, you know, I say it all the time, as long as you don't try to pull one or the other and stretch on it, you know what I mean? It'll line up. It ain't your machines, especially if you got a walking foot. It kind of takes it down the road. You know what I mean? It pulls it through there. I'm just talking out of my butt. All right. Now we'll do this one, the top sew. Like I said, I already got the other ones done. I just wanted to show you guys how I did it all. The pleat part, you've seen it a million times. All I did was chalk them out I find the center, and I go each way from the center with the rule, whatever I call it, stupid thing. And I like to keep my material flat and just to where it's not a big ball over here. You don't want to pull on it too much, because then you're going to see a bunch of separated threads where you put your seam on the back side. So just lay it flat and keep it a little tight, and that's it. The rest will happen as you're sewing it. It'll make it tight down through there. So, all right, guys, that's it for the sewing. Now, let me take you over here real quick. Okay, I'm going to show you these real quick. We'll grab this one too, just so we have it on both. Now, there's what they look like. Try to give you an above view. Here's what we got. Pretty cool panel. Like I said, I wanted to keep the dark towards the bottom to kind of blend in with the carpet, you know, the darker, and then we got our one that's in our stripe of the seat, and then the very top part is the color of the seat. So I think it'll blend good once it's all in the car. Just from, you know, trying to visualize it, you know what I'm saying? So, but there we go. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up 3 of them, and then I'll bring you back when I'm doing the last one to show you how I done it all. Fair enough? Yep, I mean, that way I'm not going to sit here and wrap all these on the camera. So I'll bring you back after that. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how I got the other 3 done. I'll show you them in a second. I want to show you how I did it. So basically, I measured up from the bottom up 6 inches, and it gave me enough to where I have about 1 inch to flip around the back. So now I drew a line across, a straight line. And we'll just put some glue on it. And by the way, I made a boo-boo. What I done was I made 2 of these of the other side. When I was making them, I thought I, you know, offset it for because there's a left and a right. I made 2 rights. So I had to redo this part, and I basically had to just shift it over the other way. That's all I done. But yeah, I couldn't believe I did that. I was like, man, I can't believe I done that. That's what happens when you get in a hurry. So anyways, we're just going to get this down on that line. We'll start the one part, or the middle of it, and then I'll just walk the rest over and look at it and make sure your line is okay and straight. You don't want it going like that. Then just push it down. Then glue all this metal part and a little bit down here, because this will get some staples too where the padding and stuff is. You got to use real short staples so they don't go through the panel. I don't know if I took it out of camera or not. Sorry about the compressor, guys. We're going to have to hear it for a minute. I'll cut it off here in a minute. You want to get enough glue on there. Let me go cut that off real quick. Okay, let me cut this a little bit so we don't have so much here. I never cut the seams when I do these. I always cut them, you know, trim them out so I don't cut them out. Alright, first things first, we'll get the top of it on here. Just kind of give it a little bit of a, not too much, just a little bit of a stretch. Put it over. Do the same with the rest. Just keep it the same pull. And just get your top started first. So we're going to check it real quick. Flip it around and make sure everything's not going left or right. You know what I mean? You want it to be straight. And once you got that, give her a good push down there. And then those will probably be okay there. Okay, now on these we're just going to give them just a teeny bit of a tug and just bring them over too. Right into that metal. Tuck them in there. This top part, remember, it gets the thing, so we're going to trim all, we're going to put that down, then we're going to trim the access. Give that a little bit there. There's what you're going to have, something nice. Alright, let's get this side real quick, and then we'll get that bottom. I just wanted to show you how I'm doing this, that way you get an idea of how it all went down. I cut a little relief cut, and hope you can see that, like right in that corner. That way this one can go over. And then these, same thing, little relief cuts. Fold that one over that way, this one towards it. Trim off what you need to, where the ones are going to meet each other. Good thing about this is, this part here, it's kind of tucked away, but still, you want it glued in there. I'm going to end up probably putting more glue on right in these corners here on this part as I need it. First thing I'm going to do is get this bottom hooked in. We probably ain't going to have enough air in the line, but anyways, that's what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to be going through, gluing the rest of that, and then I'm going to take a few staples just where the foam is and tack it down, and I'll show you how I did it. I'll bring you back into it once I get that far. Give me a few. Alright guys, that's it. Let me show you real quick. I wanted to wipe this off a little bit. And then I'm going to take you over there and show you all them other ones. I just use a little bit of like Meguiar's or Mother's leather cleaner. it cleans it up good. There's a little glue there. I got to get a little bit of, what do you call it, on it. Well, I got it. You just got to work it. That's it. Got this stuff right here. Okay, here's what we do. Basically that, anything I folded over and had a corner on, you know, a little double part, I just cut off like that with the scissors. Put a few staples up here into the thicker part, and that's it. Glued the rest. Now we'll take our things back and I'll rivet them back on, and then I'll trim this excess off right here. And then I'll add a little bit more glue to this corner right here, just so it can tuck some more. Even though it's hidden, I just, you know, don't want it coming apart. So let me take these over here and I'll show you with this camera. Am I recording with that one? Yeah, I think so. Okay, let me kind of show you these. All right, there we go. Nice panels, man. They turned out super nice. And they are going to look super cool in the car with that brown carpet being down low. You know what I mean? So those look really good. So doing how we did those pleats like that and not too many of them. Because I think when they go all the way across, a lot of the like 40s and 50s cars and stuff like that, they have them like that. And this is what you'll see, like I said before, like in Chevelles and stuff like that, where it's just in the middle kind of like. But yeah, and I lucked out on that panel because I reused that middle mocha part because I didn't have enough to redo it. Once I realized that I screwed up you know, I made two of these. You see how that's got that you know, left and a right, and that one goes this way. I made them both for the other side. So anyways, all right, I'm going to cut out the holes in each panel for the window cranks and stuff, and where the armrests go, and then I'm going to rivet back on the top chrome hair. I don't know what they call that molding, and I'll leave one off, like I said, and I'll bring you guys back and I'll show you how I do it. I just drill little holes in it and rivet it back on. They had staples in them. In fact, you've seen us grind them off. So I just put little short, like aluminum rivets in them, and it works great. I've been doing it for years. So I'll get that far and I'll bring you guys back, and then we'll get these things back in the car and button up on the carpet and get the seats back in it. All right, give me a few. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how I do this here in a second, but I want you to check out what's on the car so far. Looking pretty good. Check that out. Man, that looks so good with that carpet. I can't wait to get the seats in it. I mean, it looks really, really nice. I still got to put that kick panel up there, but I'm going to do a couple more things to the carpet before I put the seats in it. I want to mark where the holes are so I ain't trying to find them and guess. And then we can put these back here and put the armrest back on back there. But yeah, that is looking so nice. I mean, it's all lined up nice. It looks good. See, man, it really just changed. It's just every little thing you do to these vehicles, man, it just, that one little bit more, you know. But I put all the levers on, you know, the pointing forward. So when they stop, they're forward to match that pull-up arm to open a door, just so it all looks even and good. So cool. I'm gonna get back over here and I'll show you guys what we're doing to these panels to get them in that state. All right. I'm going to show you real quick just basically what's going on here. First of all, let me just show you this real quick. Get that out of the way. So on the holes, we use our little handy dandy block with the dies on it. Now I'll just take it, get the hammer, puts a nice little hole in it. Looks really good. And then I put the smaller one on these. These don't need the bigger. And I'm right on a, whoops, I'm not even on the block. I'm right on a sew line. Okay, that's that. Let's do the window crank one. And then this one's got a couple more up here for the mirror, and I forget what else is up here. Oh, the mirror and crank. Mirror and crank. And then this one is our, what was that? Oh yeah, the upper crank, the lower crank, and the mirror. Had me confused for a second. Put that one in here. This one I might need to go bigger even yet, because I think that the whole thing is that big. Yeah, let's cut it out with that one, because it's got like a ring that goes around it. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let me just let you see that real quick, and then I'm going to show you the other part. So that's that. Makes it all nice and pretty like it's a factory panel. All right, now on these, I was telling you before, this is all I've ever done here. Remember, we ground the staples out, so I just kind of line them up about where they go. There's only so far you can go one way or the other. Oh, actually, we can do this. This is even more for sure. So line your holes up in your panel where they are. Kind of set that down where it goes. And this has holes in it from the other staples. So we know that those would be about right there. That puts us real close. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll start at one end and make sure it's nice and flush with the front. Give it a good little squeeze. I hope I'm not in your guys' way. And then you can feel kind of where the metal is behind it. And then I'll put this one here, I'll go ahead and rivet down so I know if something's holding it. Okay, now what I'll do is from here all the way down, make sure it's lined up. Come in about, I don't know, 4 inches, maybe 5. Then I'll put another rivet there, come down about another 4 or 5. So on and so forth. Yeah, I wish we could have got new ones of these, but we just talked about that yesterday. I mean, it is what it is for right now. It ain't like we can't pop them off and put new ones on later, you know? Like during the winter. Yeah, you can do it in the winter time. Now after I get this far, right about in the middle, I'll go ahead and rivet this one down. And then finish it off. And then I'll trim all this out, clean all that other stuff up, make sure I got staples in it if I need staples in it, take it over to the car and we'll put it on. So I'll get that far and I'll bring you back when I'm going to the door. All right, guys, I'm going to show you so far where we're at. Looking so sweet, man. But you guys seen that one. That's when I kind of take you around here, give you a little tour. Got that one on, everything's on. The little mirror crank thing. Like I said, the armrest in the back will go in after we put the bottom seat in because it... actually, no, I can put them back in now. That was just for the back seat to come out. My bad. So I'm going to go ahead and put them back in here in a second. I forgot about that. So that's all in. Everything's in. I'm going to put those armrests in here in a second. And then right now, we're in the home stretch. I'm going to do what I said a little bit ago. I'm going to mark the holes in the carpet for the seats. I was going to glue a certain bunch of areas down, but I don't think I'm going to yet. I'm going to let it, because it's starting to lay so nice with the doors being shut and all the heat in it. It's just forming up. Like, I don't want it to, if I glue it somewhere, not be able to move the way it needs to move, you know? So, but back here, where we talked about before, I am going to put a little bit back there just so it flattens out some. I'm going to do it there and back and over on that side. So other than that, I'm going to put it back together, put the plates back in it, the kick panels back in it, and like I said, mark the holes for the seats. So I'll bring you guys back when I'm pretty much there. I mean, that's it. I'll bring you back when it's in the car and cleaned up and looking really, really nice. The last thing we're going to have to do to this car is I got to figure out what's going on with that transmission. It's taking off in second and staying in second. These cars have a thing called, I think it's drive-o-matic or shift-o-matic or something like that. It's a strange deal there. Ford done it on, I think, just 65 and 66. I don't know for sure. I was trying to read on a little bit. But anyways, the people are saying it's in the valve body because some people don't hook the linkage back up, which this one don't have the passing gear linkage hooked up. So they might be very correct about the valve body being all clogged up where it's not been shifting for God knows how long. You know, who knows when that was put or, you know, not been shifting right since. It don't slip or nothing. It goes, but it just starts in second and I think stays in second. You almost think you got a power glide that you was like, did that already shift in second? And is it a power glide? And that's it. And that's how you feel in it. In fact, when I first drove it, I thought it had a power glide, but I'm thinking it's a Ford. How can it have a power glide? So anyways, that's where we're at with that. This stuff is awesome. It turned out so nice, guys. In person, it's just unbelievable how good and how nice it turned out and how it looks. It really does. I mean, I'm not, you know, trying to be all like sophisticated about what I've done here, but it does look good. So cool. I'm going to get what I said, these few things done, and I'll bring you guys back when we're probably messing with that transmission, and we're going to go ahead and finish this video up. It's about there. All right, guys, I'm going to show you here. We got it all back together. Everything's in there. The seats are in there. I want you guys to see what it looks like with it all together. Looks pretty cool. Looks really good in here. I mean, what a difference. What a transformation. Yeah, it turned out really nice. The brakes work good. Exhaust sounds good. Interior looks great. I think he's going to be doing some good time cruising in it. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here, guys. This one's done. I'll bring you guys back when we're on the next project.